Alright, everybody, welcome to the Death Grips bracket. Now, throughout the video, um, I'll try to give a loose explanation of every song, what's good about it, what's bad about it. But I'm not a professional music critic, so sometimes I'll, not say the right terminology or, maybe have a weird opinion on things. But, I hope you enjoy the video. This is all my opinion. I really love Death Grips. I think they're a very versatile band, and I wanted to do this, making sure like I know every Death Grips song. Um, yeah, I hope you all enjoy. All right, so we're starting with the red bracket here. Um, Starting with the top, we have probably one of the hardest choices, just right off the bat. World of Dogs and Get Got. I mean, World of Dogs is an amazing, amazing song, and like Get Got is probably like a Death Grips staple. Um, Both these songs are amazing, and I hate to take World of Dogs out this early, but yeah, I mean, Get Got is just the Death Grip song almost. Like Get Got is one of the songs you think of when you hear Death Grips. Powers That Be is a pretty good song. Interview A, if I remember, it's just not. Listen, Interview probably isn't gonna have a lot of songs come out of it, like come out of the first round in the bracket. It's instrumental, so it's already kind of at a disadvantage because it feels like it's missing something when like MC Ride's not on it. Three bedrooms, in a nice neighborhood, right? Yeah, and Fashion Week, which is Runaway T. Um, Runaway T, it's an alright beat, but Three Bedrooms is a really good song, solid song. This one was actually kind of a hard choice, Tachyon and Warping. I really like Warping. I think it's a great song, has good beats, good lyrics. But like Tachyon again is a classic. Tachyon's one of the Death Grip songs that pretty much almost everybody knows. It's a really solid song, so I had to put it over Warping. Centuries of Damn and Giving Bad People Good Ideas. Centuries of Damn is not a bad song. It's pretty good. But of course, Giving Bad People is probably one of their best songs. It's so heavy and oh my god, it's just really fun to listen to. Great song. Runaway D and Inanimate Sensation. I'm not the biggest fan of Inanimate Sensation, but Runaway D is just so. It's my least favorite, maybe on Fashion Week. It just keeps going on and on. And for an instrumental beat album, every song is gonna keep going on and on. But that one sticks out as just like, oh my god, this is never gonna end. Um, Turned Off and Why Bitch Gotta Lie. I went with Bitch Gotta Lie. I think sonically it sounds a lot better. It's a great song. To me, it feels like the better version of Turned Off, but Turned Off I feel like is better lyrically. But Bitch Gotta Lie is just a great song. Black Dice and Break Mirrors. I went Break Mirrors. I'm not the biggest fan of Death Grips is Online. That's the album, right? It's kind of No Love Deep Web. I'm sorry. Ugh, I'm a little tired today. But Break Mirrors with My Face in the United States. It's just catchy. Gets in your head. It's good. Beware and Ring a Bell. I've only listened to Ex-Military once before starting this, and starting this I listened to it again, obviously. And I didn't really remember Beware, so I re-listened to it. And because I was thinking Ring a Bell almost instantly, because I really like Ring a Bell. It's a good song. But I listened to Beware, and like, man, the tone is so good. I love I love it. It's a great song. Um, yeah. Up My Sleeves and On GP. I picked On GP. Up My Sleeves is a really good song. It's sad to see it go out this early. On GP is probably one of the best songs, like period. I love On GP. It's just an amazing, amazing song. Black Google and Runaway N. I picked Runaway N. Black Google. I actually enjoyed. I just like heard of this and listened to it. I enjoyed. I like the emotion out of it. Um, but sonically, I think Runaway N is pretty good. It's a pretty good track. All right, so yeah, Runaway. Runaway End is probably like one of my favorites off Fashion Week. I really love that beat. It's a little repetitive, but like again, it's an instrumental beat album. Every song is gonna be repetitive. Beyond Alive in 2017 U.S. tour promo. Uh, I didn't know this was a song. Um, but I mean I like the frantic drums on that. Is it drums? Yeah, it's drums. I'm tired. I'm not the biggest fan of Beyond Alive, but I think it wins out. Um, Now here's one of the only chances. The next one, Runaway J and Interview B. I think this is the one of the few chances Interview can get past the first round. Um, but it might go even further. Interview B is like a really good beat, and like I didn't remember it, and I re-listened to it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like a really good beat. Um, yeah, All Out Impacts or Runaway A. Runaway A is not the best. All Out Impact is pretty okay. Um, it's a pretty alright song. Houdini and Firestarter remix. This was a hard choice because I really don't like these songs very much. Firestarter remix uses World of Dogs, and I just listen to World of Dogs. And Houdini is alright. It's pretty standard though for like Death Grips. Um, Runaway H and Culture Shock. Uh, I didn't have to re-listen to H to pit Culture Shock, but I did anyway. It's not even close. Like Culture Shock is probably one of the best songs. It's got great vocals. Oh my god, great instrumental. It's an amazing song. So that does it for the first round. All right. So this one took a while, but for round one of the blue bracket, let's start. Cajun Deep Wed. I think they're both solid songs, but I think the Cage wins out over there on the Money Store. Another song off the Money Store, The Fever versus 5D. Um, The Fever, I feel like everybody knows is an amazing song, and like I don't know if this is really fair because 5D is like an interlude. I don't know. It's a good loop, but it's nowhere near Fever. All right. Here's the two Fashion Week songs head to head right here. So we have Runaway N2 and Runaway N3, and I think Runaway N2 wins out over Runaway N3. They're both solid beats, but I love the guitar sound on Runaway N2. It's pretty good. Um, these are both songs I've never heard before. No Hands 5 and Death Grips, self-titled. Um, but like after listening to them both a couple times, Death Grips or self-titled wins out by a mild. It's really good, and No Hands 5, it's all right. Eh. A Bootleg and Full Moon. I have not heard Full Moon before, and I actually really love Bootleg. It's got a I don't know, it's got a droning beat there. Like it just sticks. It's great. But I listened to Full Moon and it's just so good. It's like consistently good. And it's kind of a longer track. The industrial beat is really nice. Yeah, I think it wins out over Bootleg. At Death Grips and Bitch Please. Um, yeah, Bitch Please. Um, just a really good song. I think it wins out over At Death Grips. Big House and Billy Not Really. Big House is a pretty alright song. It's the start of it kind of sounds like a video game almost, but Billy Not Really is probably one of the catchiest Death Grip songs, at least in my opinion. Billy, Not Really. Oh, I don't know. I just really love it. I love it. It's a great song. More Than the Fairy versus Say Hey Kid. I'm sad that this matchup happened so early. Because More Than the Fairy is actually really, really good. Um, but Say Hey Kid again, same as Billy Not Really. I think it's really catchy. It's It's got really good lyrics in my opinion. I like the way MC Ride raps over it. You know, say hey kid, say hey kid, say hey kid, hey kid. I don't know. I love it. And Bonnie and Whammy. This one's super close. Um, they're both really good songs, but I think and they both have really good instrumentals, but I think Anne Bonny wins out slightly. Uh, Usually these songs are gonna win by their instrumentals because the vocals are already really solid, in my opinion. Like all Death Grips songs have usually really solid vocals. Um, Interviewee and Thunderbolt remix. This one was hard for the wrong reason. I didn't really like either of these. I'm not a big fan of Thunderbolt because I don't know. At some points it seems like the vocals and the instrumentals kind of clash, and I just don't like the sound of it all like throughout the whole thing. An interview through E just sounds like a Buckethead noise album. Honestly, it is just like a slapping on the guitar. I'm picking Thunderbolt remix, but just note if these songs were up against any other songs in the bracket, they probably wouldn't make it past round one. Uh, I'm gonna say this one correct one time. You might think he loves you for your money, but I know what he really loves you for. It's your brand new leopard skin pillbox hat. That song is a classic, and I think it wins out over System Blower by a landslide. And this is surprising because System Blower is also a really really good song. It's just you might think is just such a classic. It's a great song. Versus Runaway E2. Runaway E2 is not my favorite off of the Fashion Week. It's kind of one of the more repetitive ones, and it's pretty standard. I think it's all right. You might say it's eh. No, not really. It's pretty good, but yeah, it wins out. No Hands 2 versus 80808. Yeah, No Hands 2 is just a Merzbow song, so like no more of that. No more of that. It's just a Merzbow song. Next we have Pop and Voila. Pop has a pretty nice synth on it. I like it. But just like Billy Not Really and Say Hey Kid, Voila is really catchy. It's got a really nice beat. I think it's pretty good. Fired Up, it's pretty short. It's got a heavy beat, and I think it wins over Come and Get Me's kind of repetitive beat. Um, Not a bad song, obviously, but I haven't heard Fired Up before, and I just listened to it, and it's pretty good. I like it. Black Body off of Crouching Tiger, Hitting Gabber. I think Megamix is. I do I have to add Megamix? I don't know. I just wanted to get that right because I didn't get it right before. It's really good. Good. It has a nice chill beat that goes into kind of a more heavier beat. The lyrics pop in. Um, but Clink has just a really really good beat, and I don't know. I kind of like MC Ride screaming in the background of it. But yeah, that concludes round one. All right, here we go. Starting round one for the yellow bracket. Now, starting off with Guillotine versus Squeaky. This one's a little weird since Squeaky's off of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gabber. I'm pretty sure that's Megamix, and that's a mix. So like everything is one song. So Squeaky, what I've heard, was two songs, but like I'm not sure because the second song, which was if I get this correct, the second song was "Been Through It," but that's not even on this bracket, and I can't find it anywhere, and I can't find Squeaky without that, so I'm pretty sure that is Squeaky. Um, Squeaky has a really good beat and really good vocals. Um, and like Guillotine, I'm probably gonna get hated for having it out on the first round, especially against like Squeaky. Guillotine's really good. It's a really good song. Um, yeah, I mean, but I think Squeaky wins out. Guillotine has a really good, albeit simple beat. That's pretty hard. Um, that goes hard is what I meant. But yeah, I just think Squeaky wins out. Next we have Through the Walls versus Death Door. I'm not the biggest fan of Through the Walls off ex-military, but Death Door is kind of just a 40-second beat. It's a good 40-second beat, but that's pretty much all it is. So I picked Through the Walls. Then we have Death Grips 2.0 and Runaway E3. They're both instrumental songs. Um, and I love the frantic like Death Grips 2.0 beat, so I think it wins out over Runaway E3. Next, we have Artificial Death versus Trap Influenced, and all I have to say is Artificial Death in the West, East. That's it. That's all you need to know. Next, we have two Fashion Week songs head to head, Runaway Y and Runaway H2. Uh, I think I'm gonna go with Runaway Y. Runaway Y is probably one of the best beats off that album. It goes really hard. And Runaway H2. It sounds like a Vsauce video. It sounds like something that'd be on a Vsauce video. That might just be me, but I don't know. It's weird. I like it. It's good, but I think Runaway Y is better. Um, Blood Creepin' versus Interview F. Got to give a shout out to Jones Grip's Info Creepin'. That shit's fucking hilarious. um, but yeah, Blood Creepin' is a pretty solid song, and Interview F is not my favorite off of Interview. It just kind of goes on and on and on and on. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan. Next we have I'm Overflow versus Whatever I Want. Fuck Who's Watching. Um, I'm Overflow's alright. Doesn't have very many vocals on it. It's alright. It's got a pretty nice beat, but Whatever I Want, Fuck Who's Watching is probably like one of my favorite Death Grip song, and that might be surprising to some people listening to it, but I love it. It sounds like a dreamscape. Like the song's just like not real, or it's like breaking as we listen to it. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite Death Grip songs, like period. Next we have Runaway E versus Bald Head Girl. Now I think both of these songs are very good ways to melt your brain. I think Bald Head Girl is better, just slightly. Um, Only because sometimes Runaway E's like brain melting, like droning beat is kind of nice to listen to, but like it kind of just goes on and it just melts your brain. It's kind of hard to think when these two songs are playing. Next we have Hustle Bones versus Two Heavens. Hustle Bones, I don't know if this is even a question, is probably one of the best Death Grip songs. I love Hustle Bones' beat. I love the lyrics on it. Two Heavens has a pretty good beat as well, but I think Hustle Bones wins out. Next we have Face Melter. Face Melter versus Lost Boys. I haven't heard Face Melter before, and then I went to go listen to it, and it's pretty good. I mean, I like the samples. Definitely the printer beat is pretty good, but Lost Boys is Lost Boys, so Lost Boys wins. Next we have BB Poison versus Glitch Futura. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. I think BB Poison is better musically. I'm not the biggest fan of Glitch Futura. That's about it. Cutthroat versus Bubbles Buried. Cutthroat's an instrumental. It's a little on the repetitive side. Um, and I think Bubbles Buried has in the jungle in Bubbles Buried in This Jungle has a better instrumental. Um, Plus it has great vocals, so I think it wins out over Cutthroat. Sacrifice is probably one of my favorite Bjork Death Grips remixes that they made. Um, I think a lot of it works better than the other ones, at least until System Blur comes in. Uh, However, I think Spread Eagle Across the Block is better. It's not my favorite, but it's got good samples. I think it wins out over Sacrifice. Feels Like a Wheel and Little Boy, both songs I'm not the biggest fan of. Um, they both have beats that kind of go on and on, but Little Boy wins out because it has MC Red to break up the beat a little bit. Next we have Fuck Me Out versus No Hands 4. Well, No Hands 4 is literally just them, a snippet of them playing Lil Boy from Zach's perspective while he was drumming. Um, there's not much to say there. And Fuck Me Out's actually, while being a jokier song, it's a really good song. Um, MC Ride kind of raps on it like he does in Billy Not Really and Say Hey Kid. It's pretty good. True Vulture Bear is all right, but I've Seen Footage is one of their classic songs. Went with I've Seen Footage. It's a really good song. Listen to it. But yeah, that would be it for round one of the yellow bracket. All right, and here we have the first round for the green bracket. So starting off, I have Birds winning out over Government Plates. Uh, Even though Government Plates is one of their better instrumentals, Birds is one of their best all-around songs. Period. I love the way MC Red raps on it, so I have it winning out. Next, we have Electronic Drum Solo versus My Whole Life. Electronic Drum Solo is the frantic drum beat off of the 2017 tour promo. It's pretty good, but My Whole Life actually it goes super hard. It's one of the better songs off of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gabber. My whole life, my whole fucking life. That I don't know. It's great. It's a good hook. Uh, Next, I have Trash versus Spikes. Both good songs off of the Bottomless Pit album. But unlike the title suggests with Trash, Trash is actually a really good song, and I think it slightly edges out over Spikes. Next, we have No Hands 3 versus Bass Battle Stars. It probably could have been any song from the discography, and No Hands 3 would have lost. I'm just so confused. Why does he stroke the monitor? Why are they renting a car? I'm confused, man. Next, we have Hothead versus Hunger Games. Uh, Hothead is one of their songs out there. That's kind of like giving bad people good ideas. It's like really hard hitting, but this one has some synth breaks in between. Um, Hunger Games has some good rhythm to it, but I think Hothead wins out. Next, we have Punk Weight versus Big Dipper, and Punk Weight goes hard as hell. I mean, the Indian song sample at the start is pretty good, but then it just hits you with this bass and these drums that are like hard as hell. Big Dipper also has some really nice rhythm to it. It's a good song, but it doesn't beat out Punk Weight. Next, we have Lord of the Game versus Zach Hill Handcuffs. Uh, the drums on Lord of the Game is great. I don't know why, but it feels like they're not going as hard as they're meant to be going. I really don't know. It's probably just me. Um, although Zach Hill Handcuffs is literally just them doing a rehearsal and it's sped up. I mean, I guess it'd be more listenable, but my left ear can't hear it. Literally, the one they uploaded, it's only in the right ear. It's weird. All right. Interview C versus Double Helix. Interview C isn't bad, but Double Helix is a really good song. I like it kind of for the same reasons I like Whatever I Want, Fuck Who's Watching, but less reality breaking and more like Death Grip song. I don't know. I have it winning over Interview C. I think it's better overall. Way better overall. Next, we have two songs off of No Love Deep Web, Lock Your Doors and Stock On. Or Stockin'. Stockin'. We're going with Stockin'. I really love Lock Your Doors. It like has a feeling of chaos going on. It's really good. Like and the instrumental really brings that home, brings that feeling home. Um, Stockin'. I don't even know. It's pretty catchy. It's a good song, but Lock Your Doors is definitely better. I think it might be the best song off of No Love Deep Web, in my opinion. Next, we have Black Quarterback and Fuck That. Black Quarterback, I feel like mixes the best of Powers That Be. Um, it's a great flow, great beat. I love Black Quarterback. It's very catchy. It's very good to listen to. And I think it beats out Fuck That. Fuck That doesn't go like it goes hard, but I don't think it goes as hard as you'd think on a song named Fuck That. It's not bad. Then we have This Is Violence Now. Don't Get Me Wrong versus Have a Sad Come. I actually have a Sad Come winning out, even though it's more of a jokey song title. I like the beat off it, robotic the like robotic vocals part on it is pretty good. This is Violence Now is only like okay, in my opinion. It's not the best off of Government Plates. Next we have is that government? Did I get that right? Hold on, I just want to make sure it's Government Plates. Pretty sure I got that right. Yeah, it's Government Plates. Next we have Poser Killer versus Fuck a Bitch. Um, Poser Killer is off the same project as Fired Up, and I feel like it has the same weird problem of like it either the instrumental either being mixed too loud or ride being mixed too low. I don't. It's really weird. It might just be me because it's very slight. Um, Fuck a Bitch is a really good song, but it's weird because it's not a Death Grips song. It features Death Grips, heavily features Death Grips. Like MC Ride is rapping throughout the entire song, so I guess it belongs on here. But it's not a Death Grip song. It's made by The Bug, if I'm remembering correctly. Next we have Hacker versus um, Runway W. This is the last chance for any song off of Fashion Week to go into the top four, and it's definitely not getting the top four because some would say Hacker is the best Death Grip song, and it's probably one of the best songs off of the Money Store. Um, and I'm not the biggest fan of Runway W. It's not bad, but it doesn't even come close to beating Hacker. Next, we have No Love versus Black Jack. I like Ride's almost like ghostly vocals on Blackjack. I feel like that is a creative song. But No Love is definitely like probably the second best song, at least on No Love Deep Web. It feels like almost the embodiment of the word "fuck it," dude. I just love it. The words "fuck it." This Bottomless Pit versus Interview D. This is the last time. This is the last interview song on here, and it's a frantic electronic beat. That's about it. Bottomless Pit has a very nice distorted beat with Ride's vocals. I think it definitely beats out Interview D. It's a good song. And finally, we have I Want It, I Need It versus Psst, Psst, the Death Grip song about pissing on people's face. It's not entirely about that, but you know, it features those lyrics. It's not bad, but I Want It, I Need It has very good like guitar, has a great instrumental, and you know, Ride's vocals are great, and I think it beats out Psst, Psst. All right, so that was it for round one of the green bracket. All right, so for round two, we got even more hard choices. I think they're gonna keep progressively getting harder. Um, so we had Get Got versus the Power That Be. Get Got, I think again, Get Got is a classic Death Grip song. It's really good. Next one was kind of harder. Three bedrooms in a nice neighborhood in Tachyon. For some people, this may not be a hard decision, but for me, I really enjoy three bedrooms in a nice neighborhood. Um, then I went back, you know, listened to Tachyon again. I've heard that song a lot of times. I just got to go over pick Tachyon over it, but it was really close between the two. Then we have Giving Bad People Good Ideas versus Inanimate Sensation. Giving Bad People Good Ideas. I picked that over Inanimate Sensation. Inanimate Sensation is an alright song. I would not like Giving Bad People is just like a class. It's like really good. So, Bitch Gotta Lie and Break Mirrors. I picked Bitch Gotta Lie. Honestly, these might be interchangeable for me because I really like both of them, but I feel like Bitch Gotta Lie edges out. Um, Next one was actually really it was really hard for me. Because Beware is actually like I keep listening to it now and it's like a really really good song and I'm sad to see it go out this early. But again, On GP is probably one of my if not my favorite Death Grip song. It's gonna go far in this bracket. Yeah, it's just such a good song. The guitars on both these songs are really good, but like On GP edges out. It's kind of like a song where if you showed to someone with only a baseline knowledge of Death Grips and they think it's like a lot of screaming and shit like that, they'd be surprised because Death Grips is very versatile and I think this shows it. Next one, Interview N versus Beyond Alive. I actually edged out Interview N. It's probably one of my favorite beats on that on Fashion Week. Um, Beyond Alive is all right. Um, just think it's slightly below the a really good beat of um Interview N. It's a little repetitive. This might go either way for some people. Actually, it probably wouldn't go. This is probably a little controversial. People probably pick Beyond Alive first. Next, we had Interview B versus All Out Impact. Interview B is an amazing beat. It's just it's probably like it's probably one of the best beats like Death Grips have made. I don't know. It's so good listening to it. And All Out Impact is apparently steroids, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon or whatever. Um, I didn't know that album was split into multiple songs. You could tell I'd listen to Death Grips on Spotify most often. Um, but I mean, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good song, but Interview B is a very very good beat. Houdini and Culture Shock. I said it before. I say it again. Culture Shock is probably one of the best songs. It's so like it's so good, and Houdini is all right. So that's it for round two. So starting off the second round of the blue bracket, I have the Fever winning over the Cage. I think it's a overall better song. Not to say the Cage is bad; it's really good, but the Fever is a really good song off of the Money Store. Then we have Runaway N2 losing to Death Grips, self-titled if it's less confusing. Yeah, I think this is self-explanatory. I think it's better. Full Moon over Bitch Please. Full Moon is really good. I think it has a lot of emotion in it. Like listen to it at the start. It like I think that's probably one of the hardest MC Ride has ever screamed. Um, but yeah, I think it's overall better than Bitch Please. I have Billy Not Really winning over Say Hey Kid. I think it's Catch Your Song. Um, Overall, the better song. Say Hey Kid is good. If you haven't checked out much stuff off the Powers That Be, definitely check these two out. I have And Bonnie winning over Thunderbolt Remix. As stated previously, I don't really like Thunderbolt Remix, so picked it over And Bonnie. You might think winning over you might think is probably one of their most classic songs, and is it's not it's a good song, but I think you might think definitely wins out. I have 8080808, 80808, sorry, winning over Voila. Yeah, Voila is pretty good, but I think 80808 is just the tiniest bit better. The last one with Fired Up and Clink, I think this one was very difficult for me. I don't know. They're both really good songs. I think Clink wins out. At some points, I don't know if this is just me, but at some points it feels like Fired Up is mixed a little weird, where MC's Ride his vocals aren't like quiet, but the instrumentals are a little too loud. I don't know. It might just be me, but like it's a little weird. But it's a good song. I like it. Starting off round two of the yellow bracket, I put Squeaky over Through the Walls. I think Squeaky is a much better song. Of course, I think Guillotine is better than Through the Walls, so of course I'm going to think Squeaky is better than Through the Walls. Next, we have Death Grips 2.0 versus Artificial Death in the West East. That's all I have to say. Blood Creepin'. I put Blood Creepin' over Runway Y. I think Runway Y is a great beat, but again, I think Blood Creeping is the more complete song. Next, it was Whatever I Want, Fuck Who's Watching versus Bald Head Girl. I put Whatever I Want, Fuck Who's Watching. Again, one of my favorite songs. Then we have Hustle Bones versus Lost Boys. I think they're both great songs off that album. I think Hustle Bones edges out. It's a really good song. Again, I put BB Poison over Bubbles Buried in the Jungle. I think in this jungle, right? Hold on, let me make sure I get the titles right. Bubbles Buried in this jungle, yeah. I think honestly it could go either way. I think BB Poison's just slightly better though. Next, Spread Eagle versus Lil Boy. Spread Eagle again, not my favorite off ex-military, but I think it edges out over Lil Boy. Lil Boy, the beat's not very as good as Spread Eagle. I think the guitar in Spread Eagle is really good. And Fuck Me Out versus I've Seen Footage. I went with I've Seen Footage. I think, you know, the staple, one of the staple Death Grip songs. I've Seen Footage, really good. And for round two of the green bracket, I have Birds winning out over My Whole Life. Again, Birds is a really good song off of Government Plates. It's probably the best song off Government Plates, other than Whatever I Want, Folk Who's Watching. Yeah, I think it beats out over My Whole Life. Um, Next, we have Trash versus Bass Rattle Stars. And I think I said that wrong in the first round, but whatever. It's Bass Rattle Stars Out the Sky. I'll pick Trash over that. We know Trash. We know things don't last. We upload trash, right? That's how it goes. I don't remember lyrics very well, but I love it. It's a good song. Next, we have Hothead versus Punk Weight. Two songs that go really hard, and I think Punk Weight goes even harder. Great. Yeah, I think it wins out over Hothead. Next, we have Lord of the Game versus Double Helix. Double Helix is one of my favorites off of the Money Store. Yeah, I think it beats out over Lord of the Game. Then we have Lock Your Doors versus Black Quarterback. Lock Your Doors being my favorite song off of No Love Deep Web. Yeah, I think it edges out over Black Quarterback. It's just better in my opinion. Have a Sad Come versus Fuck a Bitch. Again, it feels weird that a song that's not technically a Death Grip song is beating another Death Grip song. You know, this is the second. It's going on to the second round. Um, but yeah, Fuck a Bitch I think is better than Have a Sad Come. It's very well produced. Hacker versus No Love. Uh, I put Hacker above it. It's a great song. Although No Love is also a good song, you know, I don't think it beats out Hacker. And finally, we have Bottomless Pit versus I Want It. This one was the hardest one to choose between. Um, but I think in the end, I had to go out for I Want It. I think the instrumental in there is better, just slightly. But yeah, that would be it for the green bracket round two. So round three was a little easier than round two. It kind of weeds out the great songs uh, from the amazing songs. I don't know if that made sense. But the first one was kind of hard. Get Got versus Tachyon. And, you know, sonically, I think in like the instrumentals are Get Got are really good. Obviously, the vocals are really good as well on both of these. Um, but I think Get Got edges out in the end. I think it's an amazing song. Giving Bad People Good Ideas and Why a Bitch Gotta Lie. Two of the repetitive lyrics heavy songs, head to head in the bracket. I think Giving Bad People Good Ideas edges out. And the blast beats on that are really great. Um, on GP versus Interview N. I mean Interview N. I mean not Interview N. Runaway N. Um, uh, yeah, Interview N got this far. But it's done. Its run is done. On GP again, amazing. And I have Culture Shock versus Interview B. Interview B could have is the best beat, honestly, on that album. It does not beat. It doesn't even come close to being Culture Shock. Again, it's a great song. So that's the end of round three. So for the third round, I had a few tough choices, but starting off, we have the Fever versus Death Grips. I think the Fever is a more put together song. Death Grips is really good. It's a good song, but I think the Fever wins out. So next we have Full Moon versus Billy Not Really. I hate to see either of these songs go this quickly, but kind of same with the Fever and Death Grips. I think Billy Not Really is a more put together song. Full Moon's definitely something you should check out though. It's really good. I have You Might Think over Anne Bonny again. You might think is a good is a classic. And 808 I have 80808 losing to Clink. Clink is probably a really good song off their first album. All right, so for this round, I have Squeaky Moving On versus Artificial Death. I mean, if that is the right version of Squeaky, and it doesn't actually have two songs in it, Squeaky is very good. Again, Whatever I Want, I have Whatever I Want, Focus Watching going in over Blood Creeping. This, I don't think many people would have Whatever I Want, Focus Watching this far in, but I just love that song. Next, I have Hustle Bones versus BB Poison. Hustle Bones, moving on, again, great song. Then we have Spread Eagle versus I've Seen Footage, and again, I've Seen Footage is probably gonna be here for a while. It's really good. We have two songs from the Money Store going going to the final four of the yellow bracket at least. All right, on to the next. All right, next round on the green bracket. First we have Birds versus Trash. I think Birds again one of the best songs off Government Plates. I think I have it being out Trash. Then we have Punk Weight versus Double Helix. This one was kind of hard. It's kind of sad to see Double Helix go. Although it's kind of sad to see some of these songs go so early because of the matchups. But yeah, I think Punk Weight beats it out just slightly. I really like Punk Weight. Then we have Lock Your Doors versus Fuck a Bitch, and I think finally Fuck a Bitch loses. Lock Your Doors again, best song off No Love Deep Web, in my opinion at least. Yeah, I think it's great. Hacker versus I Want It. Uh, for me, easily Hacker wins out. I Want It's a pretty good song off of Ex-Military, but I think Hacker wins out over it. So that will be the third round for the green bracket. So for round four and five, um, actually probably wasn't the easiest one. For Giving Bad People Good Ideas and Get Got, I chose Giving Bad People Good Ideas. Um, Again, heavy song, it's very energetic. I think it wins out over Get Got, at least in my opinion. Well, this is all my opinion. What am I saying? And on GP versus Culture Shock, this one was probably the hardest one. Uh, I think both of these songs win out over Giving Bad People Good Ideas, but like I think on GP had the slightest edge for me over Culture Shock. It's just such a good song. I keep saying that over and over. But that will conclude the red bracket. All right, so this round was actually really hard for Billy Not Really versus the Fever. In my opinion, I think Billy Not Really is better. That might be different for a lot of people, but I just really love Billy Not Really. But this one was the hardest one. You might think versus Clink. You might think Sports probably the heaviest Death Grip speed out there, but like, damn, Clink just works so everything just works so well. So, um, we're gonna be on to the finals of the blue bracket. I'm gonna have to say Clink takes it. I think both You Might Think and Clink are gonna would have beat in Billy Not Really, but again, Billy Not Really is a really good song. You Might Think probably should be here as well, but like, I don't know. It's weird putting a thing from ex-military up because I'm not. It's probably the album I'm least familiar with, but it's a really good song. I guess we're gonna go on to the yellow bracket now. Finally, the last two rounds. So for this one, I have for the top one, I have Whatever I Want, Fuck Who's Watching, winning out over Squeaky. Again, not many people would have Whatever I Want, Fuck Who's Watching this far in, but I do. I do. I really like it. And then I have Hustle Bones beating out I Seen Footage. Again, again, this is probably one that people wouldn't choose over I've Seen Footage, but I think Hustle Bones, in my opinion, is better than I've Seen Footage. Again, both amazing songs. And I have Hustle Bones winning out over Whatever I Want Folk Who's Watching. I kind of want to have Whatever I Want Folk Who's Watching over it, but then again, Hustle Bones I think is the more complete song. So I'm just going to go with Hustle Bones. I think it's the better song. Um, but maybe it could have been interchangeable with Whatever I Want Folk Who's Watching. I really like that song. But then again, Hustle Bones I think is amazing as well. But yeah, that will conclude the yellow bracket. Moving on to the green bracket. This one was really, really hard. Probably the hardest one so far. Um, so first, I have Birds versus Punk Weight. Now I have to really think about this one. Um, but I think I like the broken up vocals and the broken up guitars, Birds, a little more than Punk Weight. I think it works a little. But yeah, Punk Weight. It's a really good song. Definitely check it out, I guess. And then I had Lock Your Doors versus Hacker. This one's probably controversial. I think Lock Your Doors is better than Hacker. I re-listened to both songs multiple times. I mean, Lock Your Doors is great. Um, yeah, it's just so good. And finally, Birds versus Lock Your Doors. This one was the hardest one. And I'm still kind of indecisive. Like, I could go either way on some days. Um, but I think slightly overall, Lock Your Doors is better. And I'm gonna go with Lock Your Doors, putting into the final four. Now, we're not completely done with brackets. Even though the bracket is done, we have it. This actually does not include songs off of Year of the Snitch, and I guess any song made between Bottomless, like after Bottomless Pit or whatever their most recent song on this was. Um, but I'm just gonna worry about Year of the Snitch, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another bracket just with Year of the Snitch songs. Up first, we have Death Grips is Online versus Flies. Death Grips is Online is a really good song. It has really interesting beat. It's really good. But there's something about Flies that just makes me love it. I love the MC Ride's flow on it. Um, yeah, so I picked it over Death Grips is Online. Black Paint versus Linda's in Custody. Black Paint goes decently hard. The beat isn't the best, but it's all right. Linda's in Custody feels all over the place. It's not my favorite Death Grip song. It's not a bad one either, but I think Black Paint is better. The horn section versus Ha Ha Ha. The horn section has a frantic instrumental. It's just an instrumental song. Um, I think Ha Ha Ha's lyrics and like beats and the way it kind of changes, those are I think that's better than the horn sections. So next we have Shit Show versus Streaky. Shit Show is a short song, kind of like almost in the vein of like giving bad people good ideas and songs like that. It's heavy and fast. Yeah, it's heavy. It's got fast vocals and fast instrumental, and a fast instrumental, with a little break in the middle, only to turn even more frantic. Um, then next we have like Streaky. It's so catchy with great lyrics, a good beat. I picked it winning over Shit Show. Um, Dilemma is almost like a it's like it's kind of not something not like if you chose someone with a baseline experience with Death Grips again, they wouldn't think this was a Death Grip song. It has elements of things you wouldn't expect. It's really good. Um, Little Richard's robotic lyrics are like nice, but they're kind of hard to understand, and the beat's only all right. So I picked Dilemma over it. Finally, we have the Fear and outro. The Fears is industrial vampire rap, and I fucking love it. The piano and horns on it are really good. Um, and outro is kind of just like a short rock instrumental. It's kind of weird because there's another song after the outro. I don't know. But yeah, that would be it for round one of the Year of the Snitch bracket. So for the next round, I have Flies beating Black Paint. I think Flies is more all around the better song. Ha 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 versus Streaky. I pick Streaky again. I think Streaky is all around the more put together and better song. And then Dilemma versus The Fear. Again, I love The Fear. It's probably one of my favorites off that album. Yeah. So I picked it over Dilemma. And Disappointed uh, gets a bye, so it's in the round. On to the next round. And for the last two rounds, I have Flies beating Streaky. Um, I don't think most people would put Flies this far, but I think Flies is probably one of the better songs on the album. Streaky is really good, but I think Flies is just that little bit better. The Fear I have over Disappointed. Yeah, again. Um, Disappointed is not a bad song. Realize I haven't talked about it. It's pretty good, but I don't think it beats out over the Fear. And finally, I have Flies beating out the Fear. This one was kind of close, but I feel like Flies is the better song. I really do like Flies. His flow is really good on there, like I said before. Um, and the beat is really nice. So, yeah, that'd be it for the You're the Snitch bracket. So we're gonna go on to the finale now. So now finally we're at the final five songs. We have On GP, Hustle Bones, Clink, and Lock Your Doors. Now starting off on the left side, we have On GP versus Clink. Now, just thinking about it now, this is a really tough decision. They're both amazing songs, but I have to go with On GP over Clink. So, I mean, On GP is so consistently good throughout. It's a longer song. Clink is off AX Military, which is one of their earliest projects. Um, I think it's really good, but like I think they got better over the years, and On GP kind of reflects that. And on the right side of the bracket, we have Hustle Bones versus Lock Your Doors. This one's kind of tough. Um, Lock Your Doors is an amazing song, and so is Hustle Bones. Obviously, they're both going to be amazing songs if they got this far. Um, this one was a really really tough decision because Lock Your Doors has a really nice atmosphere and it goes really hard on there. Um, but Hustle Bones is probably one of their better overall songs, just period. Um, Thinking about it now, I think I'll have to go with Hustle Bones, the instrumental on it, beating it out just slightly. Everybody's gonna win just slightly. I think all these songs are amazing. But yeah, so let me update the bracket to reflect this. Now, um, the reason I didn't have uh, uh, Flies in the last two, um, it's in the final five, yes. But I think Clank and Lock Your Doors are better than Flies. So I think Flies is better than Clink, but I think Lock Your Doors is better than Flies, and I don't think Flies is better than on GP or Hustle Bones. So it'll stay at fourth for now, or like I don't know. There's not really a positioning, but it's in the top five is what it means. But it's not going to be in the last two. So just for sake of no confusion, Flies is over here. Um, uh, Finally, for the finale, we have On GP versus Hustle Bones. This is a really hard decision. I don't think many people would come to this final four or this final two even. Um, but I think overall, I'm gonna have to edge it out and have On GP winning. Again, On GP is one of my favorite, if not my favorite. I mean, technically, it is my favorite since it won the bracket. And brackets are not really good for that since, Guillotine lost in the first round, even though it's an amazing song. Um, this bracket wasn't really seeded very well. Some songs went out too early. Doesn't matter. On GP is still like my favorite Death Grip song. It's so good. I have to edge it out over Hustle Bones. Hustle Bones, again, amazing track off of The Money Store. But on GP, I don't think many people talk about on GP. Give it a listen. Listen to it. It's really good. But that'll do it for the Death Grips bracket. This took me so long to do. A lot of making sure every song gets a fair chance. A lot of listening, a lot of re-listening. Oh my god, I'm all death gripsed out right now. But yeah, it was fun to do. Thanks for watching.